Hello everyone, I am Dr. Munish Kumar Bharadwaj from School of Engineering and Technology, and I'll discuss with you today safety in construction. In this discussion, I'll cover the overview of the safety in construction industry, meaning of construction safety, then need of safety, then I'll discuss regulatory jurisdiction, then I'll discuss project factors that influence safety and causes of accidents. The learning outcome for this video will be that after going through this video, you should be able to explain the meaning of safety and its need. Also, you should be able to decipher the regulatory jurisdiction of safety in construction industry. Then you should be able to identify the factors affecting safety, and also you should be able to explain the causes of accidents. Let us begin with safety and its importance. Working environment of a workman can be termed as safe when effective measures have been taken to guard him or her and others present in the work area from sustaining any physical injury or other impairment. Safety of a workman can be defined as maintaining a safe working environment, because safe working environment can ensure safety of the workman. Maintaining a safe working environment not only requires total commitment of the higher management or the site in charge, but the workmen also, because whatever safety arrangements are made by the management, if workmen are not cautious, accidents are bound to happen. In the construction industry, safety assumes additional importance since working conditions can be very dangerous. The workmen are often required to perform hazardous tasks and risky maneuvers, which can result in a host of maladies ranging from a minor injury to a lifelong physical impairment or even death. General health can also be affected on a short or long term. Construction work often needs to be carried out in busy areas teeming with people. Safety of workmen and passerbys assumes extra importance there, as collateral damage can be very high in case of an accident. Life risk to workmen increases manifold when working at lofty heights, because many times they work at lofty heights, great heights. At the ground level too, risk from falling objects, swinging cranes, toppling of heavy earth-moving equipments, then mishandling or malfunction of heavy tools or equipment like pneumatic hammers, etc., can cause serious injuries. Some hazardous chemicals like asbestos, formaldehyde, diisocyanates, flame retardants, and silica are commonly used in the construction industry, and these are also calls for safety procedures to be in place while handling them. Otherwise, there may be some accident which can be very dangerous and fatal too. It is therefore of utmost importance that safety policies are clearly defined and protocols outlined depending upon the type of construction work, the working area, and the environment. So this way we saw the importance of safety in construction. Now let us see an overview of accidents in construction industry. As per International Labour Organization ILO, 23 lakh workers die around the world due to work-related accidents or diseases every year. So it's a huge number that is affected by the accidents or the diseases. This corresponds to over 6,000 deaths every single day. So you can see that how dangerous procedures are there in the industry, and if workmen are not cautious, then what can happen in that situation? That on an average around 6,000 deaths every single day throughout the world. Worldwide, there is approximately 34 crores occupational accidents and 16 crore victims of work-related illness. So you see the importance of safety. If we take proper safety measures, then we can avoid many accidents and many work-related illness. A report published in Times of India, November 20, 2017, said that nearly 48,000 workers die in the country due to occupational accidents, of which the construction sector contributes 24.2% of the total fatalities. So you see the overall scenario in our country, that around 48,000 workers die every year due to occupational accidents, and you see that the portion or the share of construction industry accidents is also very large, that is 24.2% out of the total fatalities. Quoting the International Labour Organization numbers, the British Safety Council reported that 48,000 people on an average die in the country per annum due to work-related hazards. As per research in 2016, in Indian construction sector, the number of people dying every year in construction could be anywhere from 11,614 to 22,080. So this is the range actually which was varying. So within this range, these are the deaths or the casualties every year in construction industry sector. Considering the minimum estimate of fatal accidents, that is 11,614, Indian construction sector alone adds 24.2% fatalities in the total of 48,000 occupational accidents occurring annually in India. Means out of the 48,000 occupational accidents, here if you take that minimum number out of that range in construction sector, then it takes about 24% share of the total accident. The fatality rate means the fatal accidents per 1,000 workers of UK, Singapore and Taiwan are reported to be 0.02 in 2013 in UK, then 0.05 in 2012 in Singapore and 0.125 in 2011 respectively in their construction sector. The fatality rate is estimated to be 0.22 in Indian construction sector, whereas the fatality rate is estimated to be 0.22 in Indian construction sector, which is very high in comparison to 0.02 or 0.05 or 0.125 in UK, Singapore and Taiwan. Here you see the comparison of the fatalities per annum for 100,000 workers for different countries. In Australia 1.5, Canada 8.7, Europe 9, France 2.64, Finland 5.9, Germany 5, Ireland 9.8, India 10, the highest. Norway 3.3, Sweden 5.8, Switzerland 4.2, UK 1.62, then United States of America, USA 9.8. So that way, if you see the comparison here, the fatalities per annum per 100,000 workers is highest in India. So this comparison shows that the safety performance of construction industry in India is in poor light and in comparison to UK, Singapore and Taiwan. So these facts must draw the attention of various stakeholders of construction sector and motivate them to take safe workplaces and thus save the lives of workers. So this is the importance of safety in construction industry. Now let us see what is the meaning of construction safety. Construction sites are deemed as safe when it must have zero lost time injury, because with high fatality rate indicates that non-fatal injuries also must be proportionally high in the construction industry in India. Means high fatality rate also indicates that the non-fatal injuries will also be very high. So it is therefore imperative that construction sites have all required safety policies, procedures and protocols in place, and more importantly, these are properly implemented. These activities should ensure that there is no cause of any sort of danger to any human in or around the site during the construction work, and also the lifetime of the finished construction, which should be finally certified to conform to the safety standards. Occupational Health and Safety Assessment Series OHSAS provide standards followed globally to counter occupational health hazards and safety. To implement and monitor safety in construction work, OHSAS is a very effective management system, and this was originally developed in UK. OHSAS 18001-2007 and accompanying OHSAS 18002, and also the guidelines for the implementation of OHSAS 18001 are the accepted global standards which can form the basis of safety policies to be followed by any organization engaged in construction work. From March 2018, OHSAS 18001 has been replaced with ISO 45001, the first international standard for occupational health and safety management system. So this is the new system which is being followed now. Now let us talk about the need for safety. Though I discussed the background about that, what is the importance of safety, what is the scenario of accidents throughout the world and in our country also, especially in construction industry. Now let us discuss the need for safety. Construction industry compared to other industries in India is inherently prone to injury and illness due to the nature of work involved, resulting in higher rates of impairment to the person concerned. Being only second to agriculture in economic scale and being a labor-intensive industry, accidents and injuries to human workforce in the construction industry are considerably higher in proportion to other industries. This not only results in human suffering but also adds to the cost in terms of lost man days and medical expenses. It is therefore imperative that proper safety practices are put in place in the construction industry to ensure safe and healthy working conditions, leading to less human sufferings and waste of capital. While the underlying cause of accidents during construction are generally known, suitable preventive measures are scarce. That is the problem. To alleviate the construction industry workforce from this situation, we need to have effective safety policies following international standards and implement them with diligence. Now let us look at what regulatory jurisdictions, what regulatory measures are there for implementation of safety at workplaces. The starting point to ensure safety in construction activities is to strictly implement the various regulations that exist in the jurisdiction of the place of work. These include local, state, and central regulations that need to be strictly enforced to achieve a safe working environment for the construction work being carried out. Typical safety requirements for individual sites are also to be carefully thought out and implemented. Here you see list of some of the acts and regulations in India related to safety. First is the Building and Other Construction Workers Regulation of Employment and Conditions of Services Act 1996 and rules. Next is the Indian Boilers Act 1923 and rules. Another one is the Workmen's Compensation Act 1923. Then another one is the Petroleum Act 1934 and rules. Another is the Factories Act 1948 and rules. Then next is the Workers' State Insurance Act 1948. Then another one is the Mines Act 1952 and regulations. Next is the Workers' Provident Fund Act 1952, the Personal Injuries Compensation Insurance Act 1963. Another one is the Explosives Rule 1983. Then Explosives Act 1984 and rules, the Environment Protection Act 1986 and rules, the Manufacture, Storage and Import of Hazardous Chemicals Rule 1989. Then another one is the Public Liability Insurance Act 1991. So you see that there are lot many regulations, rules framed by the Indian government to ensure safety and welfare of the workers. But the recent one, the latest one is government has introduced another code, and this code has replaced many of the earlier regulations and acts. The recent one, which was published in Gazette number 37 of 2020 on 28 September 2020, is called as the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020. This is an act to consolidate and amend the laws regulating the occupational safety, health and working conditions of the persons employed in an establishment and for matters connected herewith or incidental thereto. This code consists of many chapters. Chapter 1 deals with the preliminary, means defining various terms and terminologies that are used. Then chapter 2 covers the registration of establishment. Then chapter 3 covers the duties of employer and employees regarding safety. Then chapter 4 covers the occupational safety and health. Then chapter 5 deals with the health, safety and working conditions. Then chapter 6 of this code is related to welfare provisions. Then chapter 7 deals with hours of work and annual leave with wages. Then chapter 8 deals with the maintenance of registers, records and returns. Then chapter 9 deals with inspector cum facilitator and other authorities. Then chapter 10 gives details about the special provisions relating to employment of women. And chapter 11 deals with the special provisions for contract labor and interstate migrant workers. Then chapter 12 covers the offenses and penalties. Then chapter 13 deals with the social security fund, and chapter 14 is devoted to the miscellaneous issues or topics. So these are various chapters in this code. This act has, or this code has replaced many acts actually. And what are these acts? This is important to look at. First is the Factories Act 1948. This has been replaced by the new code. The Plantations Labor Act 1951. The Mines Act 1952. The Working Journalist and Other Newspaper Employees Conditions of Service and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1955. Then the Working Journalist Fixation of Rates of Wages Act 1958. All these are replaced by the new code. The another one is the Motor Transport Workers Act 1961. The Beedi and Cigar Workers Condition and Employment Act 1966. The Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970. The Sales Promotion Employees Condition of Service Act 1976. The Interstate Migrant Workmen Regulation of Employment and Conditions of Services Act 1979. All these are replaced by the new code. Also, some other acts which are replaced by the new code are the Sign Workers and Cinema Theatre Workers Regulation Act Employment 1981, the Dock Workers Safety, Health and Welfare Act 1986, and the final one, the Building and Other Construction Workers Regulation of Employment and Conditions of Service Act 1996. So all these are replaced by the new code 2020. Now let us see what are the factors that influence safety. Safety in a project site is affected by various project factors as shown here. First is project life cycle, then the construction team, then project delivery methods. Apart from the factors mentioned here, safety consciousness is the most important factor influencing safety working conditions in a construction project. This consciousness about safety has to be present or inculcated right from the top management to the ground workman level. Now let us see what is accident. You can define an accident as an unforeseen and unwanted incident usually resulting in damage to property or injury to humans or both. Or you can also define it as accidents are defined as unplanned event which result in injuries, fatalities, loss of production or damage to property and assets. So this is the definition of accident. Let us see what are the most common causes of accidents. First one is tripping. In construction sites, tripping is the most common cause of injuries. Majority of these accidents can be avoided by marking out clear work passages, footpaths, and keeping working material in designated places. Next is falling. Working at elevated heights without proper safety equipment or safe working attachments often lead to grievous or fatal injuries to the workman. The next is collapse of structures and falling materials. Structures can collapse during construction or at a later period and can often cause hefty damage to man and the property. Various causes starting from faulty design, standard materials to unsound planning and execution can be attributed to such as accidents. Negligence to follow safe practices also cause such disasters. Then mobile equipments. In construction activities, you know that heavy vehicles like cranes, dumpers, dozers are used, which often cause accidents either due to bad working conditions like muddy, uneven or soft ground, poor visibility, or due to negligence in observing safe practices. Then another factor is electrical shock. Workmen can be partially or fatally injured from electrical shock when they accidentally come in contact with live overhead electrical lines or buried cables. An accident may happen. Now let us see the causes of accidents. The immediate and visible causes of accidents are usually termed as root cause. But failure of the management or site supervisor to ensure safe working conditions and inculcate safe working habits among the workmen are often the underlying cause of such accidents. Keeping proper checks from the design stage to material procurement and final execution with safety being allotted the right priority is the key to minimize accidents. Then unsafe acts. Entering an area marked as unsafe without protective gear. Working without training and authority. Then failure to use or wear personal protective equipment. Using defective equipment. Then removing safety device like guards for convenience of working. Then failure to warn other of danger. Then leaving equipment in an unsafe condition. Then faulty use of equipment, overloading or faulty loading of vehicles, then failure to lift loads correctly, faulty or no maintenance of heavy mobile equipment used in the site, then smoking in prohibited areas, then drinking alcohol or using drugs during work. These are the unsafe acts which may lead to accidents. Then unsafe conditions. What are unsafe conditions? Fire hazards without proper warning and prevention methods, hazardous environmental conditions, inadequate light in working area, unsuitable or defective tools and equipment, moving parts of machines not provided with proper guards, then platform guardrails defective or missing, then noise pollution, then improper housekeeping. These are unsafe conditions. Then there are secondary causes of accidents also. These are proper quality control systems not in place, guiding quality standards not available, lack of commitment from management and workforce, then improper risk assessment and inadequacy of knowledge, then management pressures for faster completion of jobs. And another one is financial restrictions leading to inadequate safety equipment and procedures. Also, financial restrictions leading to inadequate safety equipment and procedures, then inadequate training and awareness on unsafe conditions, very important. Often prevalent practices and attitudes in society can also be the reason for accidents. In India, safety consciousness has very little priority among workmen. This is the biggest problem. In a group of workmen, the risk-taking attitude of seniors are adopted by the juniors and the cycle goes on. People in general resist change and quite often unsafe practices in the industry being followed from the past are deep-rooted. Time pressures to finish a job also result in safety being compromised. For many years now, safety regulations have been trying to address only the root causes of accidents in the construction industry. Only recently, in a number of countries that include India too, legal requirements have started to focus on the secondary causes of accidents, which is forcing the construction industry to frame safety policies that cover all the aspects. So, discussing up to this point, we will cover in our next lecture the accident causation theories. And these accident causation theories are domino theory, multiple causation theory, the pure chance theory, biased liability theory, accident proneness theory, the energy transfer theory, the symptoms versus cause theory. So all these theories we will discuss in our next lecture. I hope you must have enjoyed this discussion and will be benefited by this discussion. Thank you.